Alright, we are back at it again today. Today I'm going to be ranting about One Piece because, it has been a whole 2 days! And Nico Robin still has not gotten a leader in TCG. I am again playing 20 minutes till dawn. Hopefully the volume is a little bit better this time. I'll sort that later. Yeah, I am playing 20 minutes till dawn again because, again, my little ADHD goblin brain, cannot focus on one thing at a time. Where's Cyclone Sword? Yeah, it's November 2nd. I don't feel obligated to play on the pumpkin patch anymore. Anyways, yeah, we're going to be talking about all the Straw Hats who are not from the East Blue and their meanings. This time I've actually prepared a document on a Google Doc of just little notes to talk about, so let's go. Starting off with Chopper. Sorry, I just had to pause to double check my notes. Okay, so Chopper's like his whole little goal. The goal of the little dude, of my silly little guy, is to he basically just wants to help as many people as he can. Yeah, that's about it. No, in all seriousness, yeah, Chopper is fairly simple in that he wants to help people, but as I believe it's Dr. Kureha, that's Dr. Kureha, who says that he has a scarred heart from Dr. Hillerok. It's been so long since I like watched, read, had anything to do with Drum Island. So like, I am probably murdering all of these names. All I remember is Walpole. Walpole pulls, like... Walpole pulls an uncomfortable amount. Man, I must have so much riz to get a baddie like that. Anyway, yes. Chopper has a scarred heart, and as such, like, it means that he always wants to love and be loved because, well, the reindeers thought he was a freak because of the devil fruit he ate. Humans thought he was a freak because he's a reindeer. That was very rude. And so as such, that has led Chopper to essentially he feels like, okay then, they're all going, like, I need to be loved, I need to, like, essentially, Chopper wants to be loved, but he doesn't really understand love, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, he doesn't really understand, like, okay then, here is what a healthy, like, love, here's what, like, healthy family is like. And then along come everyone's favorite found family, the Straw Hats, and it's like, oh, Chopper, you're a traumatized little baby. We're going to adopt you. And so, yeah. And also, like, it sort of ties into him doing medicine. In the Dr. Hillerok, I cannot remember his name for the life of me, that's probably not good. Dr. Hillerok is like, oh, Chopper, you can't do medicine because, like, you're a reindeer. And also, like, he had an interesting course of action. Considering how he, like, chose to, you know, do what he did in front of Walpole and Walpole and, like, all of his goons. Sorry, I'm also a bit sick as of recording. I got out of bed like 10 minutes ago, and I have plans today. Who knew that, like, starting a daily series meant you would have to make plans? Or, correction, meant you would actually have to, like, do it daily. I'm going to check my notes again. Yep, so Chopper he is often, like, very altruistic and naive. Because, well, he did not grow up as a human, so he did not learn that oh yes, humans are mean. Humans are genuinely terrible. And also, like, he grew up with reindeers, where, like, everyone was just sort of the same. And then he was a freak, because, well, he had his cute little blue nose, which, like, honestly, I do not understand. I do not understand, like, how anyone could dislike Chopper. He is adorable. I love my little mascot, baby. I also need to stop taking damage, jeez. I'll grab Holy Shield for that. Oh, I've already got my Holy Shield, let's go. Oh, crab baskets. Didn't even finish Chopper. Well, actually I kind of have. Chopper is very much so, he's like, I cannot be a doctor because of what Dr. Hilleruk told me. I am going to be Dr. Kureha's mount. I'm just going to help Dr. Kureha because that's all I really can do. And anyway, then the Straw Hats show up with a sick Nami, and Chopper's like, oh, hang on a second. I can, like, well, Chopper basically just gets told to leave by Dr. Kureha, like, go and pursue your dreams, my little reindeer baby. These other freaks will treat you right. I thought I killed that one. And so yeah, Chopper basically just gets adopted by the Straw Hats. Sorry, again, a little sick. And so yeah, Chopper gets adopted by the Straw Hats. The Straw Hats, then he sort of becomes, he gets respected because, like, yes he's a reindeer mixed with a human. Like, he's weird as hell, but like, look at literally any other crew in One Piece, and he's like actually somewhat normal. Like, you compare him to, say, like the Kid Pirates, like, bro at least has a more normal laugh than Killer. Like, bro does not, like, and also it kind of helps that people out on the seas, at least, like in the pirating world, seem to value more so what are you capable of doing, as opposed to what are you at base value. Because, like, otherwise Blackbeard would never have made it as far as he did, for example. Because, like, I was actually thinking about this last night while I was trying to go to sleep. Blackbeard is, like, he is genuinely, like, the most unappealing person right up until you realize, oh hey, this guy is, like, he is simultaneously, like, almost a tactical genius and also the stupidest guy alive. Like, the most dumb luck guy alive. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's about all I can really say for Chopper. Oh, I can tie him into Luffy, actually, never mind. Yeah, so Luffy, essentially, again, Luffy is very much so, like, Joy Boy. He is all about that freedom juice. He's all about, like, helping those around him become free of their pasts and sort of fight for a freer future, if that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, Luffy shows up, and the Straw Hats as a whole help Chopper immensely. Yeah. And so then onto my beloved, the whole reason I am even doing this stupid thing, Robin, my love. I'm so sorry. Robin was, like, the source of a lot of young realizations about myself as a person. Not in a spicy way, in like a, oh, I'm a girl kind of way. And yes, I am a girl. I'm too anxious to do voice training on camera right now. So, like, one day my voice will just change and I will not acknowledge it at all. And no one else will. Okay? You'll understand that. All, like, 3 people watching this. Anyway, Robin. Robin's whole meaning is to learn that she is not the devil child that she, for like her whole life, she has been told, oh yeah, you're the devil child, you're a curse, you do not deserve to live. Like, I'm literally just like, literally just watch the I want to live scene and you understand Robin as a character like perfectly right away. Which is it's kind of beautiful actually now that I think about it, because like, yeah, it makes sense for Robin. She is, like, her whole thing is like, right from when we sort of see her at the end of like, after the crocodile fight in Alabaster, like, we see Robin, or, no, I think it's like, after Crocodile leaves Luffy and that for dead, Robin, her whole thing is her just wanting to live. Like, she doesn't want to die, obviously. Like, not. I feel like very few people truly want to die. And especially Robin, who has, like, she has become, like, she's become complacent in the, like, in that sort of prison of her own creation, if that makes sense. Like, she is very much so, like, oh yeah, I don't really care about, like, my own value. Like, I'll die for Crocodile, because Crocodile at least, like, respected me to some degree, because I could read Pointless. And then sort of the moment she isn't useful to Crocodile, Luffy's like, oh golly OG, you have immense trauma. You wanna come join us? And Robin's like, sure. And so then Robin joins the bloody Straw Hats, and it's kind of, it's so perfect with Luffy. In that, like, she goes from being like this traumatized kid to, or not kid, like young adult, I guess. This traumatized person who, like, her whole life she has sort of never really had anyone because her mother was off doing what her mother was doing, like kind of violating the laws of the world. And all of, like, the scholars of Ohara were also violating the laws of the world. Yay! We love crime. Oh, no, we're One Piece fans here. Of course we love crime. That gave you. Anyway, yeah. So Robin, her meaning is to essentially, like, God, it's so long since I did this boss. I would also run this build. I did not play this build. Anyway, fair enough. Yes. Sorry, I was in my gamer focus mode for a second. Anyway, yeah, Robin, like, she sort of, up until, I guess, Long Ring Longland, which I will explain later, and probably in a future one of these, that Long Ring Longland is my favorite, it is my favorite arc. I know it is. I remember one time I told a girl that, and, like, I think that's the reason she just sort of, I think that's the reason she didn't love me. Sorry, I'm getting traumatized on camera. Oh no. Anyway, yes. Okay, so Robin, like, up until Long Ring Longland, she's sort of learning that the Straw Hats are not like, they're not like the government, they're not like anyone else. They see her for her. They see Nico Robin as a person. Like, not some tool, not some random, like, not some tool that can read prototypes for them, not a devil child who needs to be killed, who bring brings a curse upon everyone she meets. No, she is Robin. She is their beloved crewmate. Like, the Straw Hats genuinely value her, and that's sort of, I guess, with a lot of the Straw Hats, that's like impossible for most of them to properly understand, like, the longest time, because, especially with, like, Saki and that, like, it's impossible for them to understand, it seems, that, oh yeah, like, I deserve to be loved, I deserve to be allowed to live, in Robin's case. And, yeah, that is sort of, oh, crap, I'm dead. Made it 7 minutes, though. And that is Robin's whole thing. And then there's also the Survivor's Guild of O'Hara. But anyway, then we hit Anna's Lobby, which is another, which, like, it's an incredible, incredible arc. Anna's Lobby. And so, Anna's Lobby, we make it there, and we sort of, or Water 7 saga, I should say. With, like, the Water 7 saga, we see Robin, that's, like, the main turning point of her character, if that makes any sense. Wherein, like, Robin goes from being this sad, sad child who, like, she's essentially just a child trapped in a grown-up's body, if that makes sense. Like, I remember, this is gonna sound really sad to me, I saw a Tumblr post about it, actually, about Robin, how, like, her hairstyle pre and post time, like, how her aesthetics pre and post time skip sort of represent her changing as a person. And how, like, for example, Robin goes from being, like, well, her hairstyle in, like, East Blue and a lot of, not East Blue, like, Alabaster, sort of everywhere up until the time skip. Robin's hairstyle, for example, is very much so, like, it's a very simple, like, childlike hairstyle. And then we see, and then post-time skip, she does not have said hairstyle. And it's like, what the hell happened to your bangs, girl? But then, I saw this really great Tumblr post, I can't remember who it was from, so it's probably not good. Oh, jeez, I got too focused in talking about Nico Robin. But yeah, Robin's hairstyle, it actually goes from, like, this very sort of childish, like, oh yeah, my mum cut my hair like this, to just sort of, like, she lets her hair down, like, she's a lot more chill, she's vibing, you know? And I personally think that is really cool. Like, that little design element of Robin that can sort of just do so much storytelling. Yeah, and then, I don't know, I could probably talk a whole lot more about Robin very easily, but A, that's just sort of all of the notes I thought up at, like, 11 PM last night before I went to sleep. And B, I want to do the other Straw Hats some semblance of justice. So anyway, onto Frankie. God, looking at my notes, it's like Chopper has 4 lines, Robin has 7, Frankie has 4 lines, Brooke has 7 as well, because Brooke is my second favorite Straw Hat. I love my silly little skeleton man. And Jinbei has 3. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jinbei. I love you, I swear. Anyway, Frankie's meaning, like, the whole meaning of his arc is Water 7 as a whole. Like, that saga was very much so about the Straw Hats as the concept of a found family. Because, like, we see with Frankie's family, who they sort of represent Frankie trying to recreate what he had with Tom and Iceberg when he was a kid. The Frankie family are like, oh yeah, well, aside from the fact that I just love them, I cannot explain it. I just love them so much. Anyway, yeah, the Frankie family sort of act as sorry, the Frankie family act as his way of, like, his coping mechanism, essentially. The idea that, oh yeah, I can still have a family. And, like, also, Frankie doesn't, like, create it all, but the Frankie family are just, like, they're sort of all those weirdos and outcasts, like Frankie was as a kid. And so yeah, another little detail I want to quickly bring up is that Frankie is, like, I think he is by far the oldest Straw Hat. Like, he was alive when Roger, like, he was alive for the time of Roger being the Pirate King, which is something I don't think any other Straw Hat was, because, or maybe Robin had just been born, but, and Brooke technically, and Jimbei as well, but, like, sorry, I'm, as I said, sick. Yeah, Robin, like, not Robin, sorry, I love her, she's my favorite. But yeah, Frankie is like, God, I need to stop taking damage because I'm talking. Frankie is very much so about his family. He's about that family that he lost when Tom got executed for the simple crime of creating Roger's ship. Which ties into another, like, big part of Frankie as a character, which is sort of the blame the creation, like, the creator should not be blamed for what the creations can do. And he's sort of, his arc is all about him. God, I am too busy, like, trying to focus on Frankie's arc because I haven't read Water 7 in forever. Or, no, I haven't read Water 7 in a few months because I reread One Piece a few months ago. But I don't remember Water 7 all that well because, like, I've been so focused on all the current stuff with Egghead because that's really interesting to me. And also just theories about, like, Void Century and everything. But anyway, that's for later. That is for the future days of this. Because I am a fool. I'm a fool. Sorry, I am ADHD Goblin. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, Frankie, yeah, he's about don't blame the creator, blame the creation. Because, like, Tom, his teacher, his name is Tom, right? Yeah, his name's Tom, I think. At least it was in the translation I read. Yeah, Tom is all about, like, well, Tom is, like, he's being put on trial for the simple crime of creating Roger's ship. And it's like, yo, what the hell, bro? That's like, that is, to pretty much everyone, that's, like, very clearly unreasonable. But Tom's like, I'll take it. It is what it is. Anyway, and so then Frankie obviously is like, yeah, but, like, Tom, what the hell? And Tom is, I believe he's almost about to be acquitted of, like, his crime. Like, people are about to be like, oh yeah, it's like, he just made a boat, like, come on. And then, Spandam's dad, I genuinely cannot remember this man's name, which, I don't know what that says about me as a person or about him as a character. But, yeah, Spandam's dad is like, yo, that is, like, I want this guy dead, and because I'm a petty little person, I'm going to, he essentially grabs all of, like, the ruined battle Frankies, like, all of Frankie's, failed creations, and he uses them to start bombing, I believe it's the government officials and Water 7. Because, like, they still have insane firepower, it's just that they weren't good enough for Frankie, who wanted to, I believe it was, take out a Sea King, which, like, that is pretty impressive. And so yeah, Frankie wants to take out a Sea King, but yeah, that's, like, very hard. And so anyway, these ships are still, like, they're still designed to pack a punch, like, they're still very strong. But, like, sorry, not dying, and also talking about Frankie, who is... He's cool! I was not expecting those guys to have, like... I was not expecting them to be tangible. Okay, I'll quickly finish talking about Frankie before I start my next run. Yeah, so Frankie is all about don't blame the creator, blame the creation. Because, like, battle Frankies were used for harm when they were just intended to destroy Sea Kings. And so that is the whole point of his arc. He is going from, like, especially with Luffy and all that, and the Straw Hats, when he creates the Thousand Sunny, like, he is creating he's willing to invent again with the Straw Hats because they will never blame him for what his creations do. Like, they are willing to see that, they see that his creations are working for good, not just to fulfill his own desire of destroying or whatever. Which, no, Frankie is way too sweet for that. I love Frankie. He's just a little dude. I need to stop calling people little dudes. Anyway, onto my baby boy, onto my funny little pervy skeleton man, Brook. Yeah, so Brook, his meaning is essentially about... It's about survivor's guilt, basically. He was the only one of the Rumbar pirates who didn't die. He was the only... Like, in so many ways, he is the last. Like, he is the last person that he knew about until he met the Straw Hats, who remembered that Laboon was there, waiting. Oh god, my keyboard is... Oh god, my keyboard. Okay, there we go, my keyboard's working again. Well, that's annoying. I was doing a very good job of not taking damage until that point. And yeah, Brook is full of survivor's guilt. Because, like, what do you know? Being, like, the only person to survive and to actually remember that, oh hey, we left a young whale, like, waiting outside the Grand Line. Because, yeah, because we all died. And so, yeah, Brook is very understandably regretful of that. And so, his survivor's guilt is sort of, I guess it can be summed up with Thriller Bark pretty well, which is like him leaving Thriller Bark and sort of coming to realize that just because the Rumbar pirates are gone, just because, like, I am the only one still here, doesn't mean that I do not deserve to live. Like, just because, oh yeah, just because I survived doesn't mean that, like, I shouldn't have. I am allowed to survive. And, yes, his meaning is essentially Brook allowing himself to just... Oh god, I got stuck on a pillar. Brook's meaning is essentially him allowing himself to just, like, live again for himself. Oh god. Wow, my dodges. Dodge is so broken. Like, you just have I think I have like a 30% chance to just not take damage. Anyway. Yeah. And so yeah, he is all about, like, learning that it's okay to move on, and it is okay to, like, just because your past, like, just because the people you knew, the person you were in your past, like, just because all that's gone, doesn't mean that you need to be gone with it. Like, you are still allowed to live and have fun and enjoy your existence. And you don't have to give that up just because, oh yeah, all my friends are dead. Like, you can move on, make new friends, become one of the Straw Hats, go on tour, like, do all the... Oh yeah, become the leader of a cult or something. Brook's time skip arc was weird. Like, Like, that was kooky, right? That was weird as hell. Yeah. Yeah. And then finally Jinbei. Wow, I am like, I think I'm bowling through these. Or this may be like 30 minutes, and I'm just not at all paying attention to my OBS and looking at the time. Which is probably a good idea, but also like, no, I'm lazy. I was just taking a moment. Anyway, Jinbei. Jinbei is... I don't know. Jinbei is a bit of an odd one, because he is a relatively recent addition to the Straw Hat. Well, he's the most recent Straw Hat to have joined, and we didn't, like, see him... Like, the first time we heard his name was Arlong Park, which is, like, East Blue. That's, like, I think maybe 100, 150 chapters in, tops. And then, when we actually meet Jinbei, it's like, Impel Down and... Not Impel Down? Yeah, Impel Down. I was about to say Impel Down or Ender's Lobby. No, it's just Impel Down, Marineford. Like, that's where we meet Jinbei and understand and sort of get to first try and understand Jinbei as a character. Like, how he is an honorable man. Like, how Jinbei is a fish dilf. I mean, what? Anyway, yeah, Jinbei is very cool. He is very honorable, but yeah, he's sort of learning to overcome. Like, Jinbei is. This is a really interesting analogy. I'll put it at that. Jinbei is like any recovering bigot, basically. Like, he's learning. Oh, hey, humans aren't so bad. Because of, like, Queen Otohime and like, yeah, because of Queen Otohime and all that jazz, and, like, all of the people who... Oh, jeez, I just took, like, a more billion damage in 2 seconds. Oh, double dodge, let's go. Yeah, and so Jinbei is essentially overcoming his biases because, like, it's understanding that, oh yeah, just because the humans are, like, awful, racist people to the fishmen, doesn't mean that the fishmen need to treat them the same. Because, like, Jinbei is... he's about overcoming the cycle of hate. Which I know is, like, this is One Piece. This is the goofy little pirate manga. Like, why are we talking about the cycle of hate and bigotry in pirate manga? But no, like, that is very much so Jinbei's arc. Like, he is sort of about, oh yeah, I am, like, he is sort of all about that base. No, Jinbei is all about, like, sort of overcoming the past biases, like, understanding that you may have been wrong in your past, like, and also that, like, he isn't really responsible for Arlong. Like, Nami is entirely chill with him. You know, like, one of the people who arguably got it the worst from Arlong, and the whole Arlong Park, and, like, yeah, sure, people died, but, like, Nami's whole family is, like, dead. Well, no, Nami's mum is dead, like, and, yeah, like, oh, damn. But, yeah, Jinbei is all about, like, learning to overcome the scars of the past. That's just every Straw Hat, actually. Jinbei is all about, like, learning to overcome internalized hatreds, and I think that's just where I'm gonna end this because, like, honestly, I have plans today. Like, I'm, I've been going for like 20 minutes at least. Yeah. Pirate manga funny. I may just rant again tomorrow. I may come up with something more interesting. We'll see. Alright, goodbye random people of the internet. Love you.